Hey gang, Jesse Green here. You're listening to the Savvy Dentist podcast, and it's great to have your company for another episode of the show. In this episode, I wanted to get really tactical, really practical, and talk about how to survive in any economic climate. And to help us kind of get our head in the right space around that, I want you to start picturing in your mind's eye a castle. And when you think about a castle, you're going to see high walls, you're going to see a couple of towers, and you're probably going to see a moat, which is the body of water that surrounds the castle. And of course, the idea of the moat is it protects the castle from invaders. It protects the castle from people coming to jump on into the castle and rob and loot and rape and pillage and do all the things that invaders did. And so a moat is a really important thing. And of course, with castles, the wider the moat, the deeper the moat, the more it's stocked with crocodiles or nasty things that stop the invaders, the more protected the castle is. So in this episode, I want to share with you our 4-part moat framework, which is designed to protect your practice from downturns, because after all, your practice is your castle, it is your fortress, it's what funds your future, it funds your lifestyle, it funds your wealth, and it funds the safety of your family. So let's make sure we keep it safe using our 4-part moat framework. Now, when it comes to building a moat for your practice, as I said, there's really 4 parts. And the M of moat is really building a money moat. And having strong defenses financially is critically important. So what's that look like in practice? Well, it means having very strong cash reserves. It means having money in the bank, having a rainy day bank account. And this is a very important thing that lots of people overlook. And from the practical point of view, it really means making sure that you have at least 3 months worth of expenses put aside. Now, 3 months is the minimum in my view. I personally prefer 6 months, and in my own business, I have more than that again. So having good, strong cash buffers allows you to weather any unexpected expenses. It allows you to weather periods where you can't work either through injury, illness, or some other thing, pandemics, etc. It gives you that financial resilience. Very, very important. The second part of building a strong financial moat is making sure that you have very manageable debt levels. And of course, debt is an accelerant. Debt can accelerate your growth, but it can also accelerate your demise. And one of the things around debt is sometimes people take on too much debt, and then of course interest rates go up, or there's a downturn and you've still got to fund the debt and so on. So make sure that you have manageable levels of debt. Too much leverage, or too much financial leverage, can be your downfall. Remember, debt is like fire. It can either warm you or it can burn you. And so make sure you keep that under control. And the third part about having a strong financial moat or a money moat is to make sure your expense management is under control. And one of the things I've noticed with expenses is very easy to add an expense in, but very rarely do we go back and critically analyze, are these expenses still providing us with a return on the investment? Are we still getting value for this dollar that we spend? And we need to make sure at all times that every outgoing dollar has a reason attached to it. And the thing that I notice particularly around this is subscriptions. And just if we look at our personal lives for a moment, it's very easy to rack up subscriptions to streaming services that we don't log into, whether it's music or video. It's easy to rack up subscriptions around mobile phone plans with features we don't need, all those sorts of things. And the same is true in business. You want to go through, look at all the expenses, look at your subscriptions, look at all the things and ask yourself, do I need this? And should I keep paying it, right? And that's a really important thing to do from time to time, to go through all of your expenses and go, am I using this? Am I getting value from it? Do I keep it or do I cut it away? So again, those are the 3 most important things of building a money moat. Now the O for moat, so we've done the M, now we're getting to the O. O stands for operations. And from an operational point of view, you want to make sure you have the right systems in place. You want to make sure that you have systems that are documented and they are followed by all. And in particular, we want to get the right level of systemisation. It's important to document your core processes, perhaps not every single process. You don't need to document how to put the toilet paper onto the toilet roll. And people can use their common sense for that. And so what we want to make sure is we have our core processes documented and followed by all. And what this provides for is consistency, so that if you're not there, either through choice or through circumstance, that the business will continue to operate without you. And what it also allows us to do is to systemize the repeatable tasks in the business, but then allow us to humanize the exception. So we talk about systemisation and humanisation. And that leads me to the second part of operations, which is having a really robust team. Now, of course, we want to have a self-reliant team of people that know what to do and how to do it. But we also really need to, from a defensive point of view, understand where we have key person risk in our business. And in small to medium businesses, it's hard to totally eliminate key person risk. What we can do is mitigate key person risk. And the way that we mitigate key person risk is through several different methodologies. One is to have an understudy for each of the key roles. And an understudy is like that person who can fill in 80% good enough if our key person is out or leaves or something like that. A second way of mitigating key person risk is through cross-training and being able to make sure that different people can do different roles. Now, again, different sized businesses will rely on different methodologies. My personal preference is for understudies. But again, make sure that you have other people that can do the work in the practice that your key person does. Because if for whatever reason they're not there, the whole place can fall over. So from the operations point of view, we need to make sure our systems are documented and followed by all, as I said. And then we need to make sure that our team are highly trained, self-reliant, but we also identify that key person risk and we mitigate that to the best of our ability. And that builds a moat around a team. It gives us confidence that if someone leaves, the business continues on. It also gives us confidence to know that if someone's not performing, not behaving, not doing whatever we need them to do, that we feel confident enough to be able to let them go, knowing that the rest of the team can pick up the slack and keep moving forward. So that's the O. The A part of our moat framework refers to the acquisition of new patients, and every single practice needs to have a way of acquiring new patients for the business. You've got to remember that all business occurs downstream of marketing, and this is a critical business activity. The ability to generate patients for your business relates back to your business sovereignty. If you're relying on other people to feed you patients, then you are putting your head in the noose and hoping nobody kicks the chair out from under you. So very, very important to have multiple streams of patient flow, multiple streams of incoming business into the practice. Remembering, just like we said in the operational part, key person risk or single point sensitivity is just as relevant in other areas of your business as well. And if we have one source of patients, whether it be preferred provider relationships or anything else, we need to bolster that with other streams of patient flow. And when you have these streams of patient flow, think of them as strands. And when you wind those strands together, you get a rope which is much stronger than the individual strands. So again, really, really important to make sure you have a very robust way of acquiring patients, remembering that without marketing, there is no business. But we also need to make sure that we're not overly reliant on any one source of patients, because the market can and does change. Circumstances can and do change. Relationships with insurance companies can and do change. And we need to make sure that we don't take risks that we don't need to. And the T of our moat framework relates to time. Being able to take time out of the business to think critically is very, very important. A lot of dentists are stuck doing low-end tasks. And we say that million-dollar businesses are not built on $10 tasks. And yet we find so many practice owners not using their time for highest and best use. So what really is the highest and best use of your time? Is it admin tasks? Well, probably not, because those could be outsourced for $30, $40 an hour. Is it clinical time? Again, probably not, because you can have an associate do those procedures for you. The highest and best use of your time, if you want to grow and scale your business, the highest and best use of your time is to think strategically and develop your team. And so if you're busy seeing patients or doing low-end admin tasks, you don't have time for the high-value tasks that actually act as a force multiplier in your business. So putting boundaries around your time, understanding what you'll say yes to, what you'll say no to, having people hold those boundaries, enforcing those boundaries around your time is critical. Because if you don't enforce those boundaries, or if you don't have any boundaries, then your time is going to be used up with whatever comes along. And typically that's someone else's priorities rather than your own. And that means you never think about strategy, you never think about how to defend your business in the event of some kind of downturn. And that's critically important for you as the business owner to be engaged in that thinking and strategic process. So as I said, that's our moat strategy that's going to allow you to defend your castle against any downturn, any invader, any kind of circumstance which could knock other practices off their perch. I hope you find it really useful. Just remember MOAT, money, operations, acquisition of patients, and time as your moat strategy, and you're going to be a long way towards defending your castle. Hey everyone, it's Jesse here. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the podcast. If you're looking for some more tools, some more insights, some more inspiration to help you create a practice that you love, as well as a life that you love, well, head across to savvydentist.com and check out all the goodies that we have there waiting for you right now.